So today I managed to get out and do a spot of dowsing for a couple of hours in the afternoon. Very cold it was. Not only did I do some dowsing, but I came across some bits and pieces that give me thought to talk to you a bit about Czech culture, Czech life. And this short video tells you about my trip today and also about Czech culture. Please subscribe, share and like. Thanks. January the 14th, pretty cold. It's been really cold here. Today it's hovering around freezing and I'm out in the forest again near Omice for about the 6th time trying to figure out all the different lines here. There seem to be multiple lines passing through this area and it's very difficult to really sort it all out. So I've had to walk every single footpath and sometimes through the forest in between footpaths. And then I start wondering, what on earth am I doing? This is like, what am I doing? Tramping around Czech forests and towns, tracking lines. Why am I doing it? And I'm obsessed. But you know what? I think the reason why I'm doing it is because I just love getting out into nature. I love the places that these lines take me to. I love being alone, dowsing, and having these realizations about everything, particularly how the lines in my life seem to intersect. And I don't know, I just feel sometimes close to God or the goddess or whatever when I'm doing this. And I just spend my life looking forward to the next time I can get out and do a bit of dowsing. And every time you solve a problem, you find another problem to be solved. So it's like a never-ending puzzle, a gigantic 3D puzzle. And as a geologist, I love mapping things. So I guess mapping these lines is an extension of being a geologist as well. Anyway, it's a beautiful day. I haven't made a video in ages because I haven't really had anything specific to make a video about. So this is just me enjoying the forest on a cold January day and really reporting in that I have a mission here. I don't know how I got the mission. I don't know who gave me the mission, but I feel compelled to finish the mission. Cheers. Deer trail. Going to the food down there. And there's another deer trail going uphill. That's cool, eh? And some kind of weird outcrop over there. Looks like Hobbit house. There's lots of deer in the forests of Czech Republic, along with wild boar. And here's a bunch of deer tracks in the snow, headed towards the food and the hay that's left out for them when it's cold and icy like it is now. All these tracks, they're all deer tracks. Sometimes you enter areas where it's muddy and it's like somebody's tilled the area indiscriminately, and that's the pigs, the wild boars, out looking for stuff buried in the soil. And just in the distance there is Trubsko Church, which is a vortex of several lines, Type 4 and others, that I've been the subject of several videos. And that's basically the road into Brno. The communist buildings there are just north of where I live, in fact. It's north of Bohunice. I live in Bohunice, just outside of Brno. And if you come down the D1, which is the main motorway through the Czech Republic from Prague, you come down a long hill, down, there's the motorway in the distance, down through these colourful communist flats and into the city. Now, they say that the flats are so well built that there's no point trying to knock them down. It would be more expensive than it's worth. They were built to last, and last they have, and they're home to thousands of people in this city. There's a very strong hunting community in the Czech Republic. Young men in the villages either become members of the hunters or the fire brigade. And the hunters are, obviously they do hunt, and they use these deer stands. This is an old one, but the forests are dotted with deer stands like this, where they hunt deer and wild boar. There's a couple of old Soviet era movies that are quite nice to watch, that show the hunting communities of different villages competing over a boar and that kind of thing. It's a well-ingrained tradition. And the other guys that didn't become hunters would become firemen, because the fire brigade here is voluntary, and each small village and town has its own part of the culture. In the distance there you can see a more modern deer stand sitting on the edge of a farmer's field. Of course, the hunters, and there is a gun culture here, they have guns and the license to carry weapons. The hunters, whilst they do hunt deer and wild boar and stuff, they also, I think, care for the forest as well. There's a forestry management service as well, and the forests are extremely well looked after by the hunters and the forestry service. And the Czechs really do like cycling and hiking, so there are numerous, absolutely thousands and thousands of trails marked in different colours, red, green, yellow, crisscrossing all the forest areas like this one. And so, you know, you can get outdoors and do a nice 20-30 kilometre hike cross country, following the different paths. I think that's why I like this country. It's definitely an outdoorsy sort of place. I've wandered many hundreds of kilometres around the Czech Republic on footpaths and country roads and goodness knows what, cross fields. Not once have I ever been challenged by anybody, farmer, local. They really have an open access policy here, and unless the land is explicitly marked private and fenced off, which is very rare, it seems like you're at liberty to go wherever. And that's good, because in the weekend, basically, everybody has a chata, a cottage. You can see a bunch on that hill there in the forest. Little cottages, sometimes huts, sometimes quite large houses. And off they go to the chata for the weekend. And they're all cycling and walking and goodness knows what in the countryside. It's really well organised from that perspective. Up on that hill on the other side of the motorway, on top you can see apartment blocks, but on the side of the hill nothing but chatas, weekend cottages. Just outside of Brno, same in front of me there, look, and the same there. They're everywhere. I keep thinking about buying one.